Alright, welcome to Experimental Grilling. Today I'm going to show you how I make stuffed peppers. First thing you want to do is, this recipe calls for about 6 peppers. You can go with green bell peppers, you can go with red, it does not really matter. Next, you're going to go with, I use brown turkey. I just find it to be a little bit drier, which is nicer after you add the rice and the sauce and the cheese. The dryness of the turkey, you don't even notice it. When I use beef, it just seems to be sloppier and juicier, and not exactly what I'm going for. So if you usually try this with beef, try using turkey. Next, I have my rice. I just use, the ready rice. I think it's Success Boil in a Bag. Takes 10 minutes to boil. Next is my cheese. Cheese is up to you. Today I'm going to be using sharp cheddar and mozzarella. Probably use about a half a block of the mozzarella and just a little bit of the sharp cheddar on the top. And then I'm going to use half of a jar of pasta sauce. Today I'm going to be using the fire roasted tomato and garlic. But the sauces doesn't matter. Use what you like. And if you want to use a little bit more than half of a jar, make it a little bit saucier, you can. Alright, so to get started, I'm going to start with the meat. Okay, so while my pan is heating up on medium, I'm going to come over here and cut some peppers. All I really do is, I just take the smallest amount of the top off that I can. Just go around. And just cut out the insides. Be careful not to pierce the side of the pepper when you're doing so. Otherwise, everything will run through the sides. So, go ahead and get these sliced up. Okay, now with the last pepper being cut, I'm just going to place them back into the pan so that they're out of the way. I will boil these after my meat is cooked, because after I cook the meat, I like to let it simmer with the sauce and the cheese and the rice for a little bit. So, now that the peppers are cut, I'm going to get back over and get my meat on the pan. Okay, now for the ground turkey that I'm using, I put the heat on medium, just slightly over medium. So this pan is getting warm, and I'm just gonna plop the meat down. I am using 1 pound of ground turkey. Alright, so get this chopped up. Try to get it chopped up as much as possible. Doesn't have to be tiny pieces, but you do want to be able to have it mix well with the sauce and the rice. Okay. Now that the one side's starting to brown up a little bit, just give it another chop and try to flip it. But this is not a how to brown meat video, so I'll come back when this is all done. I do want to mention, while this is browning, put your rice on the burner and let that come to a boil. Okay, so the meat's just about done. I have it cut up into a fine presentation, not too small, but not too big. And the rice has about 5 more minutes to cook, so I'm going to turn the heat down on the meat and let the rice go at it for a few more minutes. Okay, so the rice is done, so I'm going to turn that burner off. Take my tongs. I'm going to let it drain. There are holes in the bag, so the water should drain out pretty well. I'll switch that over to a bowl. Cut the bag open. I'm going to take the bag of rice. Not all the water's out, but a good majority of it is. I'm going to sprinkle it over the meat. Alright, so now that the rice is in the meat, I'm just going to chop it in. Get a nice good mixture. Now I still do have the burner down. About low to medium, somewhere in the middle there. Alright, so now that the rice is mixed good with the meat, I'm going to take my sauce. It's about a half jar. It's about right here. Right here. I don't know if I got that on the camera. It's about a half a jar. Take that. Go around. Alright. And then mix it in with the sauce. Now this is coming out, it's not too saucy, it's very fine. I don't know if you can see that. Not saucy, it's just a nice mixture. Now once the rice is all the way mixed in and the sauce is, has a nice cover of everything, that's really going to determine whether you're going to want more sauce or not. But as it sits, it looks like I'm good. Back it down. Put my lid on it. I'm going to move it to the back burner, and now I'm going to boil up the peppers. Okay, so our pot is now boiling. So what you're going to want to do is start taking your peppers. Make sure you use tongs. You're going to dip them in, fill them up, and let them sink. Do that with each of them. Try to encourage them to go down. They do tend to float. But as you continue to fill them in, some will get in. Alright. So that's all 6 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put the lid back on and let them bubble for about 5 minutes. So while that's going on, I do still have my meat and rice simmering over here. Make sure you stir that occasionally. And then let's get over here and shred the cheese. Okay, so I'm going to shred the cheese. Use sharp cheddar. It's about a quarter block, maybe a little bit less than that, and a half block mozzarella. Use as much cheese as you like, though. Okay, now that the mozzarella's shredded, before you start doing the sharp, just take a little bowl, not a lot, just take a pinch of cheese, maybe two, and put that off to the side. And then get going with your sharp. Alright, so now I'm almost done with my sharp. And I'm going to mix that together with the mozzarella. Okay. I'm going to put that off to the side. Let's get back to these peppers because they are going to act good. Okay, so these peppers have been going for about 5 minutes. They should be real soft to the touch. Pick them up, drain them, throw them back on your cutting board. Don't put them in the pan because you don't want that extra water to be in your cooking pan. But be very careful when you're lifting these because they will be soft and they will rip and they will be very hot. Now that the peppers are out of there, we are going to move this pot, the boiling water off, throw our meat back onto the burner. Now this has been simmering, so it's still very hot. I'm not even going to put the heat on the backbone actually. Now I'm going to take that mozzarella that we put off to the side. I'll sprinkle that in just for a little extra cheesiness in there. Not going to be a lot. Obviously, use as much as you want. Alright, let's get these peppers filled. Alright, now that we have the peppers filled, take the cheese you shredded, just a pinch per each one, and drop it in the bottom. Don't put a lot. Now, again, cheese is to preference, you know, however you're gonna like it. But make sure you leave some for the top. Alright, now take a funnel, these are a canning funnel, plop it into the pepper, take your meat and rice, and just shove it in there. And you're going to do that for each one. Then pat it in there nice and tight. And just go to your next. You're going to want the meat and the rice to be just about level with the top of the pepper. You do not want it overflowing, and I will show you why in a minute. Now this pepper is one that is ripped, so I need to be a little bit more careful. Alright, so now while I'm doing this, I'm going to smack my oven on to bake 350. Okay, now that the peppers are filled, take another pinch of cheese, put it on and push it in to the pepper, and then top off, sprinkled up there. You don't have to go crazy, but again, as much cheese as you like, personally. Kind of borrow the cheese if you run out towards the end. And that's it. Pop them into your pan. Make sure they are as level as possible. And take anything that, you know, fell out and just kind of top off your problems. This pepper didn't have enough, so it gets all the attention. Alright, so now that that's done, I'm going to wait for the oven to preheat, and then I'm going to pop them in. Okay, so my oven is now preheated to 350 degrees. We're going to throw our peppers in. Middle shelf, 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, so it's been 25 minutes. Look at those. I like to wait until my cheese is starting to harden and get like a brown crust to it. Okay, so there you go. That is my stuffed peppers. Just to clarify, in case you make my exact recipe, I ended up having enough meat and rice to do 8 peppers. But I only had 6 peppers, so I just made 6 peppers and put the rest of the stuff into the refrigerator. I'll throw that on a taco or something. So you can make about 7 to 8 good sized peppers out of the ingredients that I used in this video. So I hope you like this. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hope you guys have good eats. And also, if you make this recipe, give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys thought. Alright.